Admission requirements: a minimum of 5 O-level credit passes in relevant subjects. For diploma ND programs, minimum JAMB admissible score of 100. Degree programs, recommended JAMB score of 180 and above. This is a great opportunity to become part of the college's growing legacy in media and broadcast education. For more information,
visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or call these following numbers: 0803 838 4343, 0806 980 9897. Announcer Management.
On the news tonight, Ondo government partners Dangote Group on Olokola Free Trade Zone. Court orders INEC to deregister ADC, other political parties. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on Nta Akure News at 7. I am Olufemi Dairo. Now the news. Ongoing efforts by the Ondo State government to open up the state for investors is yielding positive results as the Dangote Group president has promised to develop the Olokola Free Trade Zone. The group's president, Aliko Dangote, during a courtesy visit to the governor of Ondo State, promised to develop the biggest free trade zone in Ondo State. Paul Omokago reports.
The proposed Olokola Free Trade Zone is expected to provide critical infrastructure, including electricity, water supply, and road networks to support industrial activities and attract investors. During discussions with Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, president of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, noted that the availability of these facilities would create an enabling environment for businesses and facilitate the establishment of factories within the zone. Governor Aiyedatiwa reaffirmed the state government's commitment to the project, assuring investors of the necessary support for successful implementation. He also disclosed plans to constitute a government team to work with the Dangote Group ahead of the commencement of the project expected in the last quarter of the year.
It's not just going to be a free trade zone, but it's going to be a zone that's going to be industrialized, fully industrialized. He has experience already. He has developed one in Lagos, the Dangote Free Trade Zone area in Lagos. In fact, he cannot even allocate land to other investors because he's utilizing everything. So he has to expand further down to this area. And don't forget that we in Ondo State, we are strategically located, particularly with the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway that is running through this corridor.
Speaking with journalists, Aliko Dangote said the decision to develop the Olokola Free Trade Zone is aimed at creating employment opportunities and stimulating socio-economic growth in Ondo State and its environs.
Once the industrial zone, we are talking about within the last quarter of this year, we will move to site and start construction. There will be a lot of jobs, and I'm sure people of this state will be very, very happy, not only here, and also the neighboring states.
Beyond the Free Trade Zone project, plans are also underway for the establishment of cement manufacturing plants in the state, a move expected to further boost industrial development and economic activities. In Akure, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
In another vein, government continues to prioritize public sector reforms and improve service delivery. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa is tasking the newly sworn-in head of service, Segun Odusoya, to drive innovation, efficiency, and transformation across the state civil service. The charge comes as Odusoya assumes office as the 17th head of service in Ondo State. Again, Paul Omokago brings us the report.
The appointment of the new head of service, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa stated, was purely on merit and seniority, devoid of political influence. Describing a public service as the lifeline of the administration, the governor emphasized the need for creativity and professionalism, particularly in making the service globally competitive.
You also assume the responsibility of leading thousands of dedicated public servants whose collective efforts sustain the machinery of government. I therefore charge you to provide leadership that inspires excellence, promotes merit, rewards diligence, and strengthens discipline within the service.
The new head of service, Segun Otunsoya, while appreciating the governor for the opportunity to serve, promised to ensure a service that is focused and performance-driven to further boost internally generated revenue.
I will make training a priority, because if you are not well trained, you may not be able to deliver as expected. Then punctuality is very key, despite the inflationary trend. That's why we are begging Mr. Governor that if Mr. Governor could provide buses for us, as it does for the students, it will relieve our workers of the burden of transportation costs.
Capacity development of civil service is one area the government and the head of service hope to prioritize. In Akure, Paulo Mukagu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, says it has put in place plans to continuously move around host communities to deepen awareness and ensure more people benefit from available opportunities within the oil and gas sector. This was disclosed at a one-day sensitization and enlightenment workshop on community content guidelines held in Akure. Olajumoke Oladimeji reports.
Established under the Nigeria Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, is driving efforts to ensure that Nigerians and host communities derive greater benefits from activities in the oil and gas sector. Anchored on the key pillars that promote the community content framework, which are the project office, employment of human capital development, funding, procurement of goods and services, they were developed to create opportunities for indigenous contractors, entrepreneurs, and community members.
To enable people in Ondo State, the youths and businesses, especially small businesses, to participate in the upstream oil and gas sector. For the young people, I would say, or even the small businesses, register in our Nordic JQS system. When you register there, you have opportunities for everything.
Stakeholders at the workshop stressed the importance of continuous sensitization and collaboration in ensuring that communities fully benefit from Nigerian content initiatives.
People have been listening to things that they never thought possible that the government can come up to do. So with this, they are sure that the government has their best interest in heart. So both the host community, the impacted community, the oil producing areas, everybody is being captured one way or the other.
Many expressed optimism that increased awareness would encourage greater participation in Nigeria content programs and improve access to opportunities capable of transforming livelihoods and strengthening local economies.
We have been enlightened about how we can be able to gain access to the oil business and how we can be able to dialogue with the company within our environment, and also how we can be able to achieve some tangible, some profitable projects from this organization.
I am able to expose my mind to opportunities because there are so many things I don't know when it comes to things like this. But as a result of experiencing this, I'm able to know that from after this meeting, I'm going to input myself to some of the systems so that I can benefit more, because it's a program that has to do with, especially for the loan parts, and the small business owners that are around, they just have to know that there are opportunities out there for them.
They stress that with continued support, including access to funding through partnerships with institutions such as Bank of Industry, local contractors and entrepreneurs can grow their businesses and contribute more effectively to economic development. In Akure, Olajumoke Oladimeji, NTA News.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has ordered the deregistration of African Democratic Congress, ADC, and 4 others over their failure to meet the constitutional requirements for political parties in the country. The presiding judge, Justice Peter Lifu, in a judgment ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deregister the affected parties, having failed to secure 25% of the votes in the last general elections in compliance with the provisions of the law. The affected 5 political parties, ADC, Accord Party, Action Alliance, Action People's Party, and Zenith Labour Party. Justice Lifu, who earlier dismissed the all multipurpose preliminary objections filed by the defendants, ordered INEC not to allow the parties participate in their subsequent elections, including the 2027 general elections, having failed to meet the constitutional threshold. A group under the auspices of the incorporated trustees of the National Forum of Former Legislators filed the suit against the 5 political parties. The plaintiff, who also joined the Attorney General of the Federation in the suit, named INEC as first defendant. The forum argued that the affected political parties failed to meet constitutional requirements relating to electoral spreading and performance. It contended that political parties were required to secure at least 25% of votes in prescribed elections to remain relevant under the law. It therefore urged the court to order the registration of the parties, insisting that none of the defendants had effectively countered the argument. With this verdict, the affected political parties have the right to appeal against this judgment. In compliance with the federal government's resolve to deprive criminal organizations and individuals from benefiting from proceeds of unlawful activities, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has auctioned to the public properties that were either owned by illicit drug traffickers or used for drug trafficking activities and forfeited to the federal government according to the law, including properties in Lagos, Kano, Akure, and Ogun states. This was carried out at a public bid opening exercise under the supervision of the regulatory agencies and relevant stakeholders in Abuja.
Of those who seek to profit from the misery and destruction caused by illicit drugs.
This certainly will serve as a deterrent. So long as criminals don't get away with crime, government will be the better for it.
It will continue to pursue drug traffickers, dismantle criminal networks, and uphold the rule of law without fear or favor. You are watching Nta Akure News at 7. We shall be back in a moment. Please stay with us.
Just NTA Television College, widely recognized for its professionalism and excellence in media training, has achieved another significant milestone. In addition to its existing affiliation with Ahmadu Bello University Zaria for the award of a degree in mass communication, the college has now received official approval from the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE, to commence National Diploma, ND programs in mass communication and multimedia. Additional programs are also in progress. Admission requirements: a minimum of 5 O-level credit passes in relevant subjects. For National Diploma ND programs, minimum JAMB admissible score of 100. For degree programs, recommended JAMB score of 180 and above. This is a great opportunity to become part of the college's growing legacy in media and broadcast education. For more information,
visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or call these following numbers: 0803-838-4343, 0806-980-9897. Announcer Management.
Thank you for staying with us. You can also watch us on our social media handles: Facebook at Nta Akure, YouTube at Nta Akure, and on X at Nta Akure. Next is business news.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has commenced an early retirement scheme that is already attracting significant interest from employees, with officials confirming that more than 70% of eligible staff have indicated willingness to participate in the voluntary exit arrangement. The initiative, structured under the Accelerated Exit Scheme and the Voluntary Exit Scheme, is being positioned by the company as a strategic and non-coercive reform designed to align its workforce with long-term transformation goals, improve efficiency, and create space for younger professionals. Also, Nigerian banks generated 224.69 billion naira from electronic banking services and ATM card-related charges in the first quarter of 2026, representing a 12.56% increase from 199.61 billion naira recorded in the corresponding period of 2025. An analysis of the unaudited financial statements of 11 listed lenders has shown. The increase came as banks continue to deepen digital banking adoption and electronic payment services, with income from e-banking channels accounting for a significant share of non-interest revenue during the period under review. And that is all on business news. In Akure, Champion Adetula, NTA News.
Thank you. And for sports updates, let's join Bright Ebucho.